Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is having a great week and that you are I'm here in the Philadelphia region and it's a little rainy. It's been rainy for a couple of days, but that does not mean that you need to be depressed and miserable and whatever you are, right? I think a lot of people allow the weather to kind of control them and to control their emotions and to control how they feel and let that really dictate your life. So today I want to talk to you about how you are numb. And I hate to say this because I care deeply for most people that come into my life. And when I say most people, I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a I can only love people where they're at. And it's hard when you get frustrated with people because they don't either they're so numb that they don't know how to feel love back or what have you. So I just want to talk briefly about why you're numb and how we got there, right? So you didn't just suddenly wake up one day and you were like, I'm numb to things, right? You're numb because, and I've had to go through it myself, but you're numb because you fell for the love of money. You fell for needing success and you fell for needing approval and things. And all those things create numbness in you because you're not dealing with internally what's really causing you pain. And the simplest term to say is you're numb because you're no longer feeling. You're numb because you are no longer allowing yourself to feel pain, to feel joy, to feel sadness, to feel anything. Most people numb themselves with alcohol, with buying things, with drugs, with over exercising, with trying to be in control of everything. These are all ways to numb yourself, right? And I would say it's okay, but it's not okay. And I think that we've gotten into this space, especially in America, where we think it's okay. Like we try to justify the spend or we try to justify well, it's only one time. Here's two analogies of how you've gotten so numb, right? So here there's this idea of a frog who's in a pot of water on a stove and it's being slowly simmered to a boil. What happens? The frog slowly dies, right? Whereas the frog being thrown into a pot of boiling water will jump right out because it's like, nope, I don't want to feel that, right? He's out. A lot of America, I'd say 95%, maybe more, are the frog in the pot of slow boiling water, right? It's simmering. It's not quite there yet. You're being slowly numbed and slowly killed. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a way of, I love you. If you're watching this, I love you. And I love you too much to let that happen to you. But I also love you to the point where you need some truth in your life and accountability in your life. And I think a lot of us are used to being coddled. We're used to being treated for everything as opposed to cared for. And it's no fault of our own. We have been conditioned that way. We've been conditioned to not feel. We've been conditioned to feel, but only to a certain extent. I, again, probably care too much for people, and I'm okay with that. But I need you all to realize that when it comes to, like, we're in the time of year right now, especially in the East Coast. We are in the time of year right now where people are getting sick. And what do people fear more than anything in life? Death. I personally have a deep spiritual connection to God and Christ. When you are so afraid of dying, you live in fear. because you are afraid of death. Let me say that again. You are afraid of death. If you stop fearing death and realize that it's going to happen, guess what no longer matters? Things, money, success, all of that goes away because you're not worrying about dying. You're not living in fear anymore of dying. You're actually living life. And what I'm here to tell you is the way to stop being numb is to start feeling, whether it's pain, love, generosity, whatever it may be. We are so conditioned to not feel anything. You feel, and I might be wrong, I don't think I am. Who's afraid of pain? You have a slight pain anywhere. Now, if it's prolonged, I get it. You don't want to be in prolonged pain. That's not cute. But if you're in a little bit of pain, what do you do? And I want the truth. I want honesty, right? When I'm in pain, I sit with it for a minute. I didn't always used to be like that. I used to be, because I used to live in fear of death. I used to live in fear of, oh my gosh, this is not good. Oh my gosh, something is wrong. Oh my gosh, and what's that? That's worst case scenario. So, I mean, we have been so programmed to live in a worst case scenario mindset, and it's a slavery mindset. It's a prison mindset. You need to stop living in fear that just because one thing happens to you, that you're all of a sudden you're going to die, or all of a sudden you go to this like fear place. Guys, life is too good to live in that. It's too good to not feel it. And the more that you feel, and I think the reason why I'm feeling this more is because I've started to open up my own heart and I've started to actually genuinely feel things more in my own life. And it's not always cute. But the one thing I'll tell you is that when you start to feel, you stop being numb, you stop over medicating yourself, you stop allowing people's opinions and people's negativity wear off on you, right? I really truly believe that so many people live around people who are negative and who cause you to go into these spaces of fear and panic. And I don't really get it. I'm trying to get it, but I guess because I've moved forward and moved past that, and I hate to say this to you, but if you truly want to live in a space of freedom and in a space of feeling really very healthy, you need to let go of people that don't belong. And it might be family, and it might be people that you've known your whole life that you need to move on from. I know it's scary, but you've got to do it. Because at the end of the day, if you're constantly numbing yourself to just what you've known, or your belief systems about what health is, or your belief systems about, I hear it all the time. People are like, when you're accountable to me, Matt, you sound mean. And I think that's interesting because my accountability, even this is accountability. I'm not being mean to you. I'm being real with you. And I think that a lot of people don't have enough real people in their life that call them on their stuff. I like to call people on their stuff because when I call you out, you actually get better. When I call you out, your deflection or this is my favorite, is like when I give you solution, when I give anybody a solution on why they feel the way they feel or why they're in pain, because I'm real, I will tell you, I'll give you a solution, but then once you're out of the pain, I'll tell you why you got into that pain. And almost always nobody can handle it because you are weak. And I don't mean weak in a mean way. I mean, you're weak in the sense that you've allowed yourself so much to numb yourself and to be in the pain. And I'm like scared for people, honestly. I'm at a point where I love, but my love is starting to be frustrated because so many people are not used to what real love means and what real care means. I care for you too much to coddle you, and I want you to get better. because the thing that happens when I don't coddle you is that, how do I phrase this? When you're not being coddled all the time, it's a mental strength that you then develop, which turns into physical strength and spiritual strength and emotional strength, because you're not being told how to feel. You're just being told to feel. And I think a lot of people don't know what that really feels like. Literally, they don't know what feeling feels like. And that's sad. So, how do you get out of being numb? You get out of being numb by being around people who don't coddle you. You get out of being numb by people who don't make you live in fear and sit in fear when you're not feeling great. You stay around people who pray for you when you're feeling ill, who don't make you feel, who aren't negative and make you go into a state of panic. That when you get a little, and I hate to even say, I'm not going to say the S word. I'm going to say when you get toxic and someone tells you ways to get out of the toxicity naturally in a good way for your body to build up itself. And again, I'm going to say this, I'm not against medicine. What I'm against is over medication. I think we're overly medicated. I think people are overly numb and they live in this past mindset that the only thing that can heal them is medicine. Guess what? Your body is a self-healing machine when you give it the right stuff. And we are so used to being fed chemicals. We're used to being fed fake food. We're used to being fed fake everything. There's chemicals in our water that kill you slowly. There's chemicals in your food that are killing you slowly. And I find it funny when people try to give me advice on health that are, sorry to say it, but fat and overweight. Your body's not draining. You're highly stressed. You don't know how to calm your system down naturally because all you know is stress. So I will tell you, if you are overweight and you're watching this, you're not overweight. What you are is you're toxic, you're stressed out, and you have a lot of people around you who don't want you to be well. I'm going to tell you, I want you to be well. I care for you too much to not be well. And I am sick of seeing it. And before people tell you, oh, you have this disease, you have that thing, no, you don't. Stop getting these belief systems in your head that you have a problem. You don't have a problem. Your body is just toxic and there are ways to get out of it. But no one wants to tell you that because they don't make money off of it. And truly, and I'll say this honestly, I would train people for a whole year. If they committed to it, I wouldn't even charge you sometimes because, and I'm being serious. I would go to the extent of, I won't even charge you for my time and what I know if you committed to true health, because that's how you know I don't care about your money. I care about you, period. I care for you. And that's what real health is, and what real care is not caring about your money or your success or your label or anything. I just care for people being healthy, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We need to start thinking about health as this whole system of things. It's not cut and dry. And it makes me sad that people are so quick to panic and to drug themselves and to fear. And that they don't trust themselves and they don't trust God enough to get them out of it. That makes me sad. So wake up, because you are numb. You are hurting internally. And all you really want, in my opinion, is to be loved. And the problem with love is that if you don't know how to feel love, it will always feel fake until you start to break down those walls of fear. And you will never get to the next level until you can allow someone to love you and to care for you, but not keep you in fear. All clients that I have, when they get sick, I don't go to fear. I go to, okay, relax. It's going to be okay, right? I go to, what did you do? I go to, what did you put in? Who were you around? And these are questions that people don't ask. These are questions that people should be asking, because all of these things lead to sickness and illness. It's not just one thing. Everyone wants to just go, oh, it's that. No, it's a culmination of things that cause that. And it's a culmination of those things that will keep you there. You need to want to be out of it and stop living in the past. So again, I'll say it one last time. You are numb, and I need you to start feeling. Because when you start to feel love, health, and well, and abundant, you will start to go, that person's not for me. I don't want to do that. This person, I'd rather sit at home than do that. So you have to start looking at your life, and you need to start being honest with yourself and realize that you, nobody else, you have created your own illness. I had to come to the same realization. You have created your own illness by being stressed out, by eating junk, too much sugar, by drinking yourself to sleep, by putting drugs in your body. Start taking some accountability. If you don't listen to me, listen to yourself, what your own body is trying to tell you, what God is trying to tell you. It's on you. This is the problem that people don't want to hear, and that people are afraid of hearing, is that, and that the reason why people don't want to hear it is because that would mean that if I'm sick, that's my fault. You would be correct. It's like being in debt. I'm in debt. Guess whose fault that is? Mine. I can't blame anybody but me. And I'm the only one that can get out of it with God's help. But this is the real tea that people don't talk about. This is real. So be real with yourself and realize that you did it. You did it. And it's okay. But feel that you did it. Know that you did it. You did it. By who you were around, by what you ate, by what you ingested, by what you're putting on your body, by all of it, by what you're thinking, all of it. You did it. And now it's time for you to get out of it. So God bless you all. I love you all deeply, truly. This was a little real talk because I feel like people need real talk anymore in their life. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little scary to talk about this because I feel like so many people don't want to hear it. But I'm past the point of coddling people, and I'm at the point of, you need real. We all need real. Seriously. So I love you all. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.